Hey there, pull up a chair. Let me spin you a yarn. Everybody dreams of the day they make it big or viral as a content creator. And after spending some time as a small streamer and content creator myself, I've learned something really surprising. I think that at this stage, the one that people are trying to escape the most is the most beautiful and rewarding stage in the entire journey. If you don't know me, I'm Leroy Stankins. I stream on Twitch every Monday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern to around midnight. I'm nowhere near famous. I have a decent small audience in my community that is there, but I'm not pulling in thousands of people or thousands of views on my YouTube videos by no means. But because of that, I think I have perspective that a lot of the big streamers have lost. Big content creators no longer have. One of the best things about being a small streamer and being a small content creator is having that ability to where your chat's not flying a million miles a minute, or your YouTube videos aren't getting thousands of comments, that these messages that are flying by and these seas of comments are very hard to individually catch and respond to. And as a small streamer or a small content creator, when I get that first time chatter, when I get that new follower, when I have my regulars in my chat, it's so much easier to be able to recognize them and speak to each and every one of them. Or when I get comments on my YouTube videos or my YouTube shorts, I'm able to, you know, pretty instantly reply to those and easily reply to those without having to worry about, oh man, I've got all these things to reply to, and it would be overwhelming, right? Now, I'm not saying that, these big creators don't care about their viewers or don't care about the people that come to their YouTube videos. I know that if they could individually speak and reply to everybody, they would. And I watch a lot of Queso. He tries his best, but I mean, if you watch his chat, it's just flying and flying and flying. But it's it's so much easier as a smaller streamer to be able to, joke and cut up with my chat and allow them to have a really, really good experience in there. The relationships just feel real. Another really big upside to the small streamer slash content creator spot is every milestone feels so huge. Like on the Twitch side, when you get your first follower, when you get your first time chatter, or after you hit affiliate, when you get your first subscriber, your first bit donation, and then YouTube, when you post your videos and you get your first views, your first likes, your first subscribers, your first comments, it just all feels so much bigger. And then back to the streaming side, when you get your first regular viewer that's popping in every stream and they're talking to you, it's such an awesome thing. In my last video talking about the small streamer journey, I discussed the huge downfall for small streamers and content creators is discouragement. And when you get these things happening, like your first subscribers, your first comments on your videos, your first average viewers, that just takes that discouragement and punches it right in the face. I mean, it's huge, and it's such a boost to your feeling as what you're doing as far as your streams, your YouTube videos. Is such a positive feeling. Whenever you say you're on Twitch, you have your regular viewers, you pop into another streamer's stream to see what they're up to or talk to them, and then maybe you see that same person that's in your chat, and whenever you drop a message in there, they're like, Oh, hey, Leroy, what's up? That's another awesome feeling. It's these things that, as a small content creator, you get to enjoy so much, and please don't take those for granted. It's such an awesome feeling. Like you're doing the right thing. Like for me right now, when I made my last video, I was averaging 4 to 6 viewers a stream. My last stream that I did, I stayed around 8 to 10 viewers, and we had a blast in there. I mean, I was up dancing. I was doing Australian accents for my Australian viewers. I mean, we were having a really good time. And another thing, as a small streamer, that I don't want you to lose track of, because I know it's hard when you see these bigger guys getting these huge bit donations, these huge tips through, if you have the tipping set up on your Twitch page, these huge amounts of gifted subs. While all those things are nice, don't focus on that. Please, by no means, if don't think of Twitch and YouTube as a get rich quick scheme. Think of it as a platform to meet new people and have fun. Like I stress to my community, they are very generous when they can be, as far as bits, gifted subs, tips. But one thing that is most important to me is them having a good time. The monetary end is just, and I tell them this all the time, it's a huge bonus to me when they decide they want to be generous enough to spend money. But that's not my focus. That wasn't my focus when I started this. My focus is to build something that's very enjoyable to people and just is fun for everybody. If they decide to be nice and generous with money, that's just a huge bonus for me. But make your main focus having fun and giving some people a fun place. That is the number one thing to me. Another great thing about this stage of the small content creator and streamer journey is you really get to experiment. Finding a niche is important, because that's what's real, finding what's going to work for you and help your channel grow to the level that you want it to be is very important. And experimenting, you get to have fun with that. You get to see what works, what don't work, what games your community is going to like, what games they're not going to like. For me, I took a very difficult niche, that if you watch these big streamers when they give tips and their tricks of what helped them, a lot of people say variety streaming is a no-go. Don't do that. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. And it is. But in this oversaturated era of content creation and streaming, I mean, let's be honest, everything's difficult. It's going to be difficult to start from nothing, get discovered, and get people in there. Why I chose variety streaming is I did not want my community to just be there for one single game genre, and that's all they show up for. I wanted my community to be there to enjoy watching me. And with variety streaming, I get to play these really silly indie horror games that are so stupid that they're good. Or I can play a simulator if I want to. I can go play a AAA game if I want to. And I know that people are going to be there to watch because they're there for me. I've had many people in my community tell me, it doesn't matter what you do, Leroy, do a IRL stream of you cooking something on the grill. They're there to see me, not what I'm playing. And that was the goal that I wanted to achieve. So if that's something you're interested in, please, by all means, give it a go. Leave a comment down below if you want to be a variety streamer, or you are a variety streamer or variety content creator. Drop some tips in the comments. Drop some failures in the comments. If you just want to say, hey, I do that too, and I'm glad that somebody else is doing it and it's working, please drop anything down below in the comments. Another huge thing about this stage of the content creation and streaming is your community is everything. Like I said earlier, That's what I wanted. I don't focus on the monetary side. I focus on building this awesome community where I have these feels like friendships with my viewers, and it truly is. They they are my friends, and the conversations you can have so many different conversations, like talking about games, talking about foods you like, talking about what you did that day. Maybe somebody has a hobby that you have other than this, and you all can grow off that and share that experience. The inside jokes, like one big inside joke in my community was I like to smoke food in my free time. It's a huge thing that I like to do. And I said something like, "Man, I sure do smoke a mean baloney." And ever since then, this huge inside joke's been born of, "Oh, Leroy likes smoking baloney. Yeah, I bet you like that baloney." And it's just so much fun we've had with that. And then another thing that has come about is I have a channel point redemption within my chat that they can play this horror screaming noise, and 9 times out of 10 it scares the crap out of me, and I jump and I yell at them jokingly. I'm like, "Oh, it's never the time for that. This ain't the time for that." And the inside joke is they've always respond with, "It's always the time." That was something that my wife started because I made that comment when they were first started really doing that, of saying it's never the time. And then she hit me in the chat with, "It's always the time." And then that just kind of grew and took off. It's been so much fun being at this level and being able to connect with my viewers without my chat flying through and missing messages out the wazoo and only getting to read every other one. It's been a really good time. And not only that, is this community that we have, we all support each other. We're all small streamers, and that's what it takes, right? Supporting one another. We all pop into each other's stream from time to time and view when we can. And that's one thing I shouted him out in my last video because he's helped me a lot with building this. We've built this together. Groovy Tony, I was discussing with him that I love this community that we've built. I love when I go into his stream, or I go into, there's a fella named Sharky1270, or there's another guy named Mike Anthony. When I pop into their streams and I see everybody from the community in there supporting each other, it's just such an awesome feeling. If you were to ask me if I would choose to have the 10,000 viewers, or that don't care about the community or what I'm doing, they're just there for that one single game, or if I have, or I could have the community that I have now that's there for me and cares, and they're trying to build something as well, I would take my community all day, every day over the 10,000 viewers that don't give a crap about what I'm doing. They're just there to watch the gameplay. And the hardest part of this stage, and it touches on when I talked about the discouragement, is the growth. It's very, very slow. Um, I've been streaming since around the end of October 2025, early November, I believe. And for the longest time, I believe November to, I want to say February or March, I stayed at 2 to 3 viewers. And most of the time, those 2 to 3 viewers was my wife and StreamBot, my Stream Elements bot. And I'm now slowly picking up and getting more regular viewers, getting more first time chatters. It's a very slow but very rewarding process, I promise. Another thing that's hard in this stage, especially for those that are just mainly focused on YouTube, is when a video flops. A lot of my long form content has very low amount of views, or I'll spend all this time editing a short thinking, "Oh, this is hilarious. This is going to get a bunch of views," and then I post it and it gets anywhere from 1 to 2 or 300 views versus my other videos that are getting over 1,000. It's very disheartening at times, but it's it's a process. Trust me, it sucks and it's very discouraging, but it gets better over time. It gets better, and I promise you, when something works the way you want it to, or you get these comments that you want, or you get these people in your stream, it's all worth it. The joy you will get from all that will erase that video's discouragement from you. It did for me, at least. I would like to think it would for everybody, but maybe not. Content creating and streaming, like I just said, is very hard. And a lot of people want to give up early on. And that's very understandable. But the reason that I keep going, like I said, is I have a very, very awesome community that I love that I have. And them showing up for me, dedicating their time when they could spend that, if they spend 2 minutes, if they spend the whole stream, which is around 3 hours, that time that they could have been off doing something else, they chose to spend with me and my community, the other people in there, hanging out, watching the game, chatting. They chose to do that instead of whatever else they could have been doing. They could have been watching somebody else. They could have been watching Shroud or Queso, but they chose to watch me. And that is the big reason that I keep doing what I do, and I keep hoping and working for this growth so I can reach more people. If you're another small creator in this stage, don't rush it. Please, please don't have that feeling of urgency and rush. Enjoy this process. Enjoy this stage of content creation and streaming. And just keep creating, keep growing, keep working at it. Put your effort into it. Focus on being enjoyable and producing content that people will enjoy. And I promise you, the appreciation will come. There will be people that find you and enjoy what you're doing. If you're really putting in the work and trying to make quality content that's fun for people, you will get your viewers. You will get your likes. You will get your comments. You will get your subscribers on the YouTube side. At Twitch, you'll get your first time chatters, your followers, and then if you're affiliate, you'll get subs and people that want to donate and spend money there because they appreciate what you're doing and they genuinely have fun